And welcome back to our Devastation spoilers. So, with the Grand Prix coming up and the spoilers officially starting tomorrow, we had I did a video yesterday detailing other new cards that showed up, but we have more new cards that showed up. So, and we also have a lot of confirmation of what some mechanics did, new mechanics, things along those lines. So, let's get into this right now, right here, right now. So, first off, Eternalize. We now know officially what Eternalize does. And just to use where's the kitty? Where's the kitty? Well, I'll just use Steadfast Sentinel, which we've already talked about as an example. Steadfast Sentinel is a 2/3 for 3 of any color, 1 white. Vigilance, Eternalize, 4 of any color, 2 white. Exile this creature, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a zombie, human cleric, and it's a 4/4. Now, with Embalm, the creatures came back as their exact toughness, empowered toughness for all their abilities. Eternalize actually turns them into a 4/4 zombie. It makes them stronger, because apparently this is Bolas's army. Now, still, what the hell is Bolas's endgame on his plane? We don't know. But the fact of the matter is that this Eternalize, this basically souped up Embalm ability, is extremely powerful, assuming that it's on the right types of cards. Like, it's on that double strike cat you play for 2. That's going to be a freaking haxed card. That's going to be a very dangerous card to be playing against, because a 4/4 double striker is not something a lot of people want to go up against. But also they confirmed what Afflict did. We have deserts in here, like Desert of the Indomitable. All these lands now that used to be more or less the monuments for the gods are now desert lands that have the cycling ability. They come in tap for their respected color, and cycle for one of their respective color and one of any color. So, but that being said, it's a land. So, but then again, this is a set that deals with things in the graveyard, so it's kind of all over the place. That being said, Oasis Ritualist, a 3 of any color, 1 green, so 4, 2/4 Naga Druid. Tap it, add a mana of any color to your mana pool. You may exert Oasis Ritualist, add 2 mana of any color of any one color to your mana pool, and of course with exert it doesn't untap. So this card actually I can see being pretty useful. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's a little expensive. It's got a butt on it, but it's pretty. Honestly, the mana ramp's not bad, especially if you got some early mana ramp early on, which exists. You get it out maybe on turn 3, and you can play it for its extra mana ability, get big shit out. I can definitely see this thing being useful. We have Accursed Horde, 3 of any color, 1 black, 3/3, zombie. So 3/3 zombie for 4. Pay 1 of any color, 1 black. Target attacking zombie gains indestructible to the end of turn. So yeah, zombies are going to be a much bigger thing thanks to Eternalize, and this guy can make other zombies, including himself, that are attacking indestructible. Good to know. It's not that bad. But the problem is it's a niche card. It needs to be in a zombie deck or an Embalm or a Eternalized deck. Open Fire, 2 of any color, 1 red. Instant. Open Fire does 3 damage to target creature or player. It's your standard burn spell. It's fine for being a standard burn spell. We have next up a beast, Sand Strangler, a 3/3, 3 of any color, 1 red beast. I believe it is a uncommon. When Sand Strangler enters the battlefield, if you control the desert or there is a desert card in your graveyard, you may have Sand Strangler deal 3 damage to target creature. Given the fact that deserts are now a much bigger thing in this set, we have these deserts of the gods, basically. They are, yeah, I can see this card being useful, but making a desert deck I think would be silly. It's going to be good in the limited format that it's in. I don't know. It's cards that need to deal with cards that are specifically in the set kind of bug me. Carrion Screecher, 3/1 flying zombie bird, 3 of any color and 1 black. That's about it. It's a 3/1 flyer for 4, but that's usable, especially in limited, which I play a lot. Gilded Ceradon, 4 of any color, 1 red, 4/4. Whenever Gilded Ceradon attacks, if you control a desert or there's a desert card in your graveyard, target creature can't block this turn. Again, in a limited environment, this card's great because it's more or less going to be unblockable with cycling lands going on that are deserts. Other than that, it's all right. It's a 4/4. It's basically treated like a 4/4 vanilla for 5. We got Desert of the Glorified. We got Desert of the Mindful. All these are basically about equal in terms of usability. Our Revelation, the first actual official story card. This is where the revelation of what the God Pharaoh kind of is happens. Our Revelation, 3 white, 3 of any color. Our Revelation costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. Great for Commander. Great for 2-headed Giant. Otherwise, it just sort of It's not terrible, but it's not amazing. I can't really see anyone using this card very often. And it's just a board wipe card, so there are better board wipe cards out there. So, yeah. Sidewinder Naga, 2 of any color, 1 green, 3/2. As long as you control a desert or there's a desert card in your graveyard, Sidewinder Naga gets +1 and has Trample. Honestly, not a bad card, all things considered, especially since, again, the desert thing's going to be... I love the Naga art, by the way. The Naga art's great. Especially since the deserts are going to be a thing in this set. Yeah. Inferno Jet, 5 of any color, 5 of any color, 1 red, so 6. Deals 6 damage to target opponent, or you could cycle 2 and discard it and draw a card. Yeah. Good on you. If you can get to 6 mana, you'll do 6 damage to their face. At that point, you might want to be looking for other cards, though. Unless you got multiples of these that you want to play, which I don't know why you would. But unless you got multiples. Angel of the God Pharaoh. The angels did not deceive. From the start, they were clear their allegiance was to the God Pharaoh. Which is weird, because this angel is just an angel. It's a 4/4 flying, cycle for 2. And it costs 2 white and 4 of any color. Honestly, and it doesn't have Eternalize or anything. I imagine we might see one that has Eternalize, but yeah. It looks more zombie-ish now, and it's not a zombie, so that's weird. Otherwise, it's okay. Defiant Kinra. There were those who saw the death of the gods, which confirms the gods are not going to be living through this. As a trial, a final trial. It's just a 2/2 bear, Jackal Warrior. Now, as I speculated with, and as it's been confirmed, Bolas is whipping out those 3 other gods he's got in his toy chest. Funny enough, they probably aren't going to be called anything except the blank god. In this case, the Scorpion God. 6 to be precise. The Scorpion God is a 1 black, 1 red, 3 of any color, 5 mana costing, 6/5. Whenever a creature dies with a -1/-1 counter on it, or whenever a creature with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, draw a card. You may pay 1 of any color, 1 black, 1 red, put a -1/-1 counter on another target creature. When the Scorpion God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. This thing is horrifying. This thing is frightening. I mean, say what you will about the other gods. The core 5 gods were good for what they were. They each fell into their own niche. There were those that were better than ours, like Oketra. Ronos, I think, was the best one. I think a lot of people agree with that. Oketra, I think, was like the second. Maybe Hazaret. Maybe they were tied. Bantu came in at number 4, and Kefnet was just terrible. But they were fine for what it was worth. This thing, though, completely and utterly annihilates them, because this thing can kill any this thing can kill the Theros gods, because this thing can put -1 counters on things, which basically makes indestructible completely pointless. So yeah, this god, now this god's not indestructible though. That's where the catch comes in. It's not indestructible, but unless you're exiling it, which you would with indestructible god anyway, so it makes a little difference. Unless you're exiling it, this thing can't die. This thing won't stay dead. This thing will just bounce back to your hand. It's like kind of like an Emrakul ability. It will just go back to your deck. Except this thing just goes back to your hand to be recast later on. This thing is horrifying, and it's going to be the staple of, I think, a lot of decks to come. Grind to Dust. They still have the Aftermath cards. I'm not a fan of these cards. Grind Dust. 1 of any color, 1 black. Put a -2/-2 counter on up to 2 target creatures. Or -1/-1, sorry. And then 3 of any color, 1 white. Aftermath sorcery. Excuse me. Exile any number of target creatures that have a -1/-1 counter on them. You could use it in conjunction with a Scorpion God, or I don't know. You could just use it, I guess. It's actually not a bad one. As far as these Aftermath cards go, this one's pretty usable from what I can tell. Let's see. Desert's Hold. 2 of any color, 1 white. Enchant Aura. Enchant creature. Whenever this card enters the battlefield, if you control a desert or there's a desert in your graveyard, you gain 3 life. Creature can't attack or block or activate. And its activated abilities can't be activated. We've seen that before. Perfectly fine. It's got an extra ability if you're using deserts. Now, I got a little confused when I saw these cards originally. I'm like, wait, we already got Bolas. Wait, Nissa's here? And then I realized, oh, it's the Planeswalker decks. Why is it Nissa versus Bolas? Is she going to be like one of the only ones who's kind of, even though they all have their own defeat of Bolas, which is good, are they going to all be, are they going to be, is beaten but her the least so? I don't know. But we have, we'll start with Nissa. Nissa Genesis Mage. 5 loyalty, 2 green mana, 5 any color, so 7. Not a good start. +2. Untap up to 2 target creatures and up to 2 target lands you control. Or actually, no, it just says 2 target creatures and 2 target lands. That's actually pretty good. That's not a bad ability at all for a +2. Target creature gets +5/+5 until the end of turn for -3. Again, honestly, if you're running in the right deck like an unblockable deck, that's a pretty good ability. And then her -10. Look at the top 10 cards of your library. You may put any number of creature cards and/or land cards from among them onto the battlefield to put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. All these abilities are actually, excuse me, I just had to adjust so I could see better. All of these abilities are actually pretty sweet abilities. My problem, though, is it comes off a 7 mana Planeswalker. Now, granted, the Bolas card is 8 mana, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's far more usable than this card is. But because it all depends on how you balance it out and what type of deck you're running. The problem is the moment she drops out on turn 7, assuming you're if we're looking at these cards at how they actually function, we gotta figure out how they function in the basic play of how you use them, which means you get it out on turn 7 when you have 7 mana. You get this out on turn 7, unless you have something to protect her, she can't do a damn thing. She cannot do a damn thing. You can untap 2 land, basically, and maybe get a little chump blocker out there with like a 1/1. Maybe if you're playing white, get your 2, 1 second. Yeah, get 2 of these. Get 2 Sacred Cats out there with lifelink. They'll be able to block. You'll be able to embalm them again. And, otherwise, that's the only thing. She's got no way of defending herself if she's the only thing to come out in the field. Whereas Bolas, on the other hand, Nikolas the Deceiver. Again, great art on this guy. He's actually cost the exact same as the original Bolas does. 5 of any color, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red. 5 loyalty. In fact, he's almost the exact same in terms of his loyalty costs, minus the fact that the -2. It was originally, I believe, a -2 for his take control ability. No, it was a -5. That's what it was. So actually, he's more fairly cost than the original Bolas was. So his +3 ability, each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So either way, you're forcing your opponent into a situation they're not going to like. They're either going to lose 3 life, lose some permanent on the field, or discard a card. Which, given the fact this is Bolas and the deck's probably going to deal with destruction and discarding and stuff like that, it's very possible you might not be able to do that. He has a -3, destroy target creature, and then draw a card. He can immediately protect himself. He can immediately screw your opponent's crap up. So right off the bat, he's already doing some good things. Now, granted, he's 8 mana, so honestly, you're probably better off playing the original Bolas. This card's not as good as the original Bolas, even though this one does draw you a card. And then Nikolas the Deceiver deals 7 damage if you pay 11 to each opponent. You draw 7 cards. Now, this card's going to be great in EDH. for that ability if you ever get it off, which honestly, it's you just got to +3 him twice. That's not hard to do in the right shell. And you get to draw 7 cards. You basically get to refill your entire hand. Compared, I mean, he's not the best thing. Like, God Pharaoh Nicol Bolas still kicks his ass. But frankly, he beats Chandra out completely because he's actually has relevant abilities the moment he hits the board. So, yeah, sign me up for that one. If I get a Planeswalker deck, which I very well might, I'm getting the Nicol Bolas one. I think a lot of people would say the same. I'm not against the Nissa one. In fact, the Nissa one I could see myself using like in my unblockable deck, especially with that -3 for +5 on a creature. But overall, just nah. Kenra Scrapper. 2/3 Jackal Warrior, 2 of any color, 1 red, 3. So 3. It's a 2/3 for 3. Menace. You may exert Kenra Scrapper as it attacks. When you do, get +2/+0 until the end of turn, basically turning it into a 4/3 with Menace. For a common card, that's a pretty good card because Menace's ability, that's no joke. Menace is not a joke around ability. It's an ability that will screw your opponent, screw you up, screw your opponent up. It'll screw your opponent up if it's on the right creature. And for a common card, absolutely. So figure out a way to get this thing Vigilance, you're good. Supreme Will, 2 of any color, 1 blue. Instant, choose 1. Counter target spell unless its controller plays 3 of any color. Or look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put one of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I dig this card. You can either hold it for a counter spell, or you can just go and rummage through your library, top 4 cards of your library, get something you need. And then you put those at the bottom of your deck. I dig it. It's a good card overall. I definitely would run it in certain decks I have. Sunset Pyramid, 2 of any color. Artifact. Sunset Pyramid enters the battlefield with 3 brick counters on it. You may pay 2 and tap this card to remove a brick counter and draw a card. Or you may pay 2, tap this card, and scry 1. Now, this may seem good. It is actually good because it's actually a pretty solid card for just 2 mana. The thing is, those 2 abilities, I can imagine people who immediately look at this thinking, I can scry 1, then draw a card. Unless you can untap this and still have extra mana, no, you can't. But what this thing does that certain other cards that have these counter abilities and then just has above a lot of those other things is that this once this thing loses its counters, it still sticks around. It can still be useful by scrying. Scrying, like Menace, is not an ability to take lightly. The ability to set up your hand is very good. Is very impressive. Very impressive. Very useful, I guess is a better way to put it. So actually, that's not a bad card at all. I can see me using that. Last but not least, Dream Stealer. 2 of any color, 1 black, human wizard, 1/2, menace. Whenever Dream Stealer deals combat damage to a player, that player discards that many cards. On 1 mana for menace, you might not think that's a terrible idea. It's a rare card. You're thinking, it's alright. Pump it up or something. You want to pump it up? Why don't we internalize it for 4 of any color and 2 black, turning it into a 4/4 menace that causes you to discard cards equal to the amount of damage you took from this creature. These cards are disgustingly evil in many ways. And then again, that is the gift of Nicol Bolas, if you will, the evil. And yeah, this Eternalize. So you got a double striker. You got this guy that's going to make you discard shit. Because if you don't have cards in your hand, eventually you're screwed. You're done. So yeah, this Internalize is actually starting to, and then of course you just get like even a 4/4 Vigilance is nothing to joke about. So the 3 Internalized cards we got right now are pretty good, all things considered, especially for their mana costs. Like the cats only cost 2, and then they cost 5, which is actually a cheaper Internalized cost than some of the other ones. So yeah, this is I'm interested to see what happens when the actual spoilers start up. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who to win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything I do on the channel, Dragon Ball Z. Put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. There'll be the bi-weekly Who Will Win tomorrow. I already know which ones I'm doing on that one. It's going to be a pretty short one, honestly, but I know which one I'm doing. Who to Win on Wednesday. I don't know what I'm doing for that one yet. Magic throughout the week because of our Devastation spoilers. I've got What If on Thursday. I've got the review for Transformers, or more than and if something else happens that I want to talk about, I'll talk about it. Till then, though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you.